Rise of Amhara Fano, a fight for survival in the face of genocide. A cry for help echoed through the valleys and hills of Ethiopia. It was a cry born out of desperation and a deep-seated need for justice. The Amhara Fano emerge, a grassroots movement rising from the heart of the Amhara region. The Amhara Fano, a people's movement born from necessity. They were not just fighters, they were the embodiment of a community's will to survive. They rose to prominence in a tumultuous Ethiopia, a land where political instability and ethnic tensions ran high. Their story is one of resilience, of resistance, of a struggle for survival. The Fano emerged organically, not from a desire for power, but from a need to protect their people. They were farmers, traders, and everyday citizens, people who tilled the land, sold goods in markets, and lived simple lives. A common thread united them, their Amhara identity. This identity was their strength, their bond, and their reason to fight. They felt marginalized, targeted, fearful for their safety and their future. The sense of being under siege was palpable. The Ethiopian government, they felt, had failed them, failed to protect their rights, their lives, and their heritage. They perceived a systematic campaign against the Amhara people, a campaign that sought to erase their presence and their influence. Genocide, they called it, a word heavy with meaning, a word that reflects the depth of their fear. It was a term that encapsulated their worst nightmares. The Fano, then, were not soldiers by trade. They were not trained in the art of war. They were ordinary people. They were ordinary people forced into extraordinary circumstances, circumstances that demanded they take up arms. They took up arms to protect themselves, their families, and their way of life, to ensure that their children could grow up in a world where their heritage was respected and their lives were valued. The Amhara Fano's emergence is a testament to the power of community and the lengths to which people will go to defend their identity and their future. Their journey is far from over, but their spirit remains unbroken. The Amhara Fano continue to stand as a symbol of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. Eskinder Nega, a name that echoes through the corridors of Ethiopian history. A journalist who risked everything to uncover the truth. An activist who stood unwavering in the face of oppression. A political prisoner who endured unimaginable hardships. He became a symbol of Amhara resistance, a beacon of hope for those who felt voiceless and marginalized. His voice resonated with many, cutting through the noise of political rhetoric and reaching the hearts of the people. He spoke of their fears, their dreams, and their struggles. He articulated their grievances with a clarity that was both powerful and poignant. Nega was a thorn in the side of the Ethiopian government. He criticized their policies with unflinching honesty. He exposed their abuses with a courage that few possessed. He paid a heavy price for his dissent, facing imprisonment and persecution. Yet he remained undeterred. Imprisonment became a badge of honor for him. It amplified his message, turning him into a martyr for the cause.
I believe the Amhara people are facing genocide. We must act. We must defend ourselves. We cannot remain silent in the face of such atrocities.
His words were a rallying cry. They ignited a movement, a collective awakening among the Amhara people. Nega envisioned a different Ethiopia, one where unity and peace prevailed over division and conflict, one where ethnicity was not a weapon but a source of strength and diversity, where all citizens had equal rights and democracy was not just a dream but a reality. His vision resonated with the Fano, a group dedicated to protecting the Amhara people. They saw in him a leader, a champion for their cause, someone who could guide them through the storm, a champion for their cause, a voice that would not be silenced, a beacon of hope in their darkest hours. Meketa Mamo, a former soldier, a military strategist, he brought his experience to the Fano movement. He met with Nega, a meeting of minds, a shared vision for the future.
The Amhara people are in danger. We need to act, and act decisively.
Advocacy alone is not enough. We need to defend ourselves. We need to fight back.
Their meeting was a turning point. It marked a shift in strategy. Mamo's military expertise was crucial. He could train the Fano. He could help them organize. Their pact was sealed. Nega, the political leader, Mano, the military strategist. Together they would lead the Amhara people in their struggle for survival. The decision was made. The Fano would take up arms. It was a difficult decision, but a necessary one. They were outgunned, outnumbered, but not outmatched. They started small, collecting whatever weapons they could find, hunting rifles, old pistols, anything that could fire a bullet. They trained in secret, learning the basics of combat, preparing for the fight ahead. The transition was not easy. They were farmers, not soldiers, but they were determined. They had no other choice. Their survival depended on it. Their numbers grew, word spread more and more. Amhara people joined their ranks. They were united by a common purpose, to defend their people, to fight for their future. Gojam, Gondar, Shewa and Wello, a stronghold of resistance, take root. Amhara region, a region in Ethiopia. Known for its rich history and cultural heritage, Amhara region is a land of resilient people and breathtaking landscapes. The region has always been a significant part of Ethiopia's story, with its rolling hills, fertile lands and vibrant communities. It became a Fano stronghold. The Fano, a grassroots movement, found a natural home here. The people of Amhara, with their deep sense of identity and pride, embraced the movement wholeheartedly. The movement found fertile ground here. The people were receptive. They saw in the Fano a reflection of their own struggles and aspirations. The farmers, the villagers, the everyday people, they all became part of this growing resistance. They were ready to fight. Young men and women trained in the rural areas, preparing themselves for the challenges ahead. The spirit of defiance was palpable, and the determination to protect their land and rights was unwavering. The Fano organized themselves into cells, small, independent units. These cells operated with a high degree of secrecy, meeting in forests and remote areas to plan their strategies. Each unit was self-sufficient, yet part of a larger, cohesive movement. They operated in the shadows, ambushing government forces, disrupting their supply lines. Their tactics were unconventional, relying on the element of surprise and intimate knowledge of the terrain. They were fighting a guerrilla war, a war that required not just bravery, but also cunning and adaptability. The Fano fighters moved through the woods like phantoms, striking swiftly and then vanishing into the dense foliage. The terrain of Amhara region is their ally. Rugged mountains, dense forests, the natural landscape provided the perfect cover and strategic advantage for the guerrilla fighters. They knew every inch of it. The local guides and villagers played a crucial role, helping the fighters navigate the rugged terrain and avoid detection. They used it to their advantage. Every rock, every tree, every hidden path was a part of their strategy. The fighters blended seamlessly with their environment, making it difficult for the government forces to track them. Fano became a symbol of resistance. Their bravery inspired others. Across Ethiopia, people looked to Amhara and saw a beacon of hope and defiance. The victories, no matter how small, were celebrated with fervor. They showed that the Ethiopian government could be challenged. The defiance of the Amhara Fano sent a powerful message that the people would not be subdued easily, that the Amhara people would not go down without a fight. Their unity and determination became a rallying cry for others, proving that resistance was not just possible, but emerging not as victims of suffering or loss. Despite the relentless government crackdown, the Fano stood undeterred, their resolve unshaken as they persevered through overwhelming adversity. They fought back with everything they had. They used their knowledge of the terrain, their determination. The government crackdowns backfired. They only strengthened the Fano's resolve. They pushed more people into the movement. The violence escalated. The situation spiraled. The international community condemned the violence. They called for a ceasefire, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. The fighting continued. Fano offensives and strategic victories. The Fano, despite the odds, went on the offensive. They launched surprise attacks, they captured towns, they disrupted government control. They were gaining ground. Lalibela, a holy city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Fano captured it. It was a symbolic victory. It sent a message. The Fano were a force to be reckoned with. Gondar, another strategic city. The Fano captured it too. They were expanding their control. They were challenging the government's authority. The momentum was shifting. These victories boosted the Fano's morale. They showed that they could win, that they could defeat the Ethiopian government. The tide was turning. A global movement, diaspora support, and the Amhara Popular Army. The Amhara diaspora, scattered across the globe, They watched the events in Ethiopia with growing concern. They felt a responsibility to help. They organized, they raised funds, they provided support, they held rallies. They lobbied their governments, they raised awareness about the plight of the Amhara people. They became a powerful voice for the Fano. The path forward: unity, leadership, and the quest for justice. The Amhara Fano movement faces challenges, internal divisions, leadership struggles, the threat of government reprisals, but they remain resilient, determined, hopeful. They seek unity, a common purpose. They understand that their strength lies in their togetherness. They are working to overcome their differences, to present a united front. They seek justice. For the crimes committed against their people, they demand accountability. They will not rest until those responsible are held to account. The road ahead is long. The struggle is far from over.
But the Amhara Fano movement has shown the world their strength, their courage, their determination to survive.